What works?
Usually what works is some sort of change in the status quo. While it seems to be difficult to imagine that a child who has rejected a parent is going to go with that parent voluntarily or willingly, that's what's needed. There needs to be some time together between the target parent who has been rejected and the child. There are programs around this country where it is basically a residential program. The target parent and the child go into the program together. It's therapeutic, but there are activities around it, like if the kid likes to ride horses, there's equine therapy. There could be wilderness camping out there, but it's immersive. And during that program, while the relationship is being repaired and the child gets an opportunity to know their rejected parent, the courts at times also enforce no contact order between the alienating parent and the child. And the therapy needs to be given some time to work. Some of the therapists who do this require that as a condition, that if I'm called upon to repair this relationship, I need a court order that during this time the child cannot have any contact with the alienating parent. And the courts have granted that. And then you have another issue where the kid says, despite the court order, I'm not going.
What do you do in that situation? And I guess the other part of that question would be, it's one thing if they're young children, but with teenagers, and I've had cases with alienated teenagers, and sadly, I don't think much can be done.
Well, I've been in that situation, and some courts basically throw up their hands and say, well, what do you want me to do, counsel? I'm not going to send bailiffs or police to drag the 15-year-old to some program where he or she doesn't want to go. They're going to run away, they're going to harm themselves, they're going to harm other people. So some courts take that approach. On the other hand, I've had judges which have ordered professionals to basically transport the adolescent who is refusing to follow the court order into the program. We have utilized professionals in this country who basically are sometimes former FBI agents, and they are very professional. They do require release from the parents and the court, but they will sit the kid down and they will explain to the child, whether it's a 15-year-old teenager or 10-year-old kid who just doesn't want to go, that there is no choice. This is a court order which must be followed, and we are going to transport you to this program, and you're going to see your mom or dad, and that's it. And once that happens and the child sees that there is authority behind it and the judge has ordered this, usually it falls into place. Yes, there's some yelling and screaming involved, but more and more courts are realizing that adolescents need the relationship between the estranged or alienated parent and themselves, and they need to be taught that no one is above the law. You have to follow the law like your parents do. And we wouldn't ask, if our client were to come to us and say, I'm not following that court order, I don't like their parenting time schedule, you or I would sit them down and explain to them what it means by contempt of court, what are the consequences, and we'll try to persuade them to abide by the court order. And that's a time where a good guardian ad litem can come handy and explain to their client what's involved here. It takes team effort, but usually these steps are taken after a full-blown evidentiary hearing where there is a finding made of alienation.